women shouldn't be allowed to vote. I mean, that's
not my position.
No, I know that's
not my position.
Yeah, so that was
Andrew's
what.
not here,
Yeah, that was
so.
that's what I took issue with.
Why should they be able to vote?
You're not serious, right? We're not going to have this.
Oh, if you want to have
Are we
the
really gonna
do you want to
it?
have the discussion? Let's do it.
Really?
I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Should women be drafted?
No, I said I don't want to be drafted.
Let the veteran
But that's
answer
not-
that
that's-
question.
But
But we're going to keep on, if you're going to do this, we're going to have to keep on the subject. So voting, meaning what do you mean that women, first of all, let me ask you, what's your position?
no, I'm asking you your position. You're the one who wanted to talk about it. I'm happy to steel man it. So why should they vote?
Well, I think that, first of all, it's a bizarre notion that the United States government or any other Western country would ever take a woman's right to vote away from her. It's a nonsense conversation that seems to be clicks for cash kind of conversation, because it's never going to happen.
You're still not giving any reasons.
It's never going to happen. Under
it's happened
our
a lot of times in the
Constitution,
past. In most countries in the world,
our
women don't
Constitution
vote.
does not allow for that. Our Constitution says that men are created equal. Men and women are created
Right. So
equal.
should we draft women?
Listen, if you want to draft women, you can. You can talk to President Trump or President Harris, whoever is in charge, if you want to do that. But what we're talking about is, can women vote?
Yeah. So once again, what's the reason why women should vote?
Because they're a human being.
So
they
you-
contribute to society.
Okay, let's take it one by
They
one.
have
One by one.
brains.
Human being. Should
Okay.
infants vote?
Yes. So, first off,
Hold it into the mic.
women are half of this population. They have a right and they have a say, and they deserve to be represented
Why?
because they are half of this population. They are human beings, and our Constitution says that we are equal. And not only that, but society, Western society, this is a regressive idea that women should not be able to vote. And what it would take...
Regressing
Wait,
to
hold
what
on, wait, hold on
exactly?
a second.
You're saying 10 things. We need to take it one by one because
Okay.
you're spurging. So regressing to what?
Regressing to 100 years ago, over 100 years ago.
Is that a bad thing?
Yes, it is.
Would you say morally we're better off now than we were 100
But
years
we're
ago?
not talking about that. We are not talking about the effects of women being able to vote and extrapolating that to where we are morally as a society. Because Hitler also happened when women were able to vote.
So if you look at how women vote,
I mean, what do you want to? I mean, what?
No, I just want you to lay out a logical argument as to why
I
women
mean,
should
we
vote.
dropped
Because you've
two
said they're
bombs
humans.
on
You said they're
Japan
humans.
when
Hold on
women
a
were
second.
able
You
to
said they're
vote.
humans. Infants are humans. Should infants be able to vote?
No.
Okay, cool.
People who...
What's the next one?
Wait,
you need
no.
to take it point by point. You're doing a lot of talking, but not making too much sense.
Okay.
Women are humans. Okay, not a good reason. What's the next one?
No, but that is a human right. That's what I meant to say.
Okay,
It
so-
is a human right to be able to vote. So we can just scratch that I said women are humans, and we'll
A
just
human
say
right to vote
it is a
according to who?
human right to vote.
According to
I
who?
think women should be able to vote, and for the sake of this being clipped, I don't think you're doing a great job at all of explaining why women should be able to vote, because now people are going to see them and be like, that's why women should vote. They can't make up their mind.
Okay,
I mean,
so
that's
let
not
me,
a good
okay,
job
well, let
at
me
all.
be well,
Women should
thank
be able
you for
to
your
vote,
contribution, but let me
she's
be
making
clear.
more
I
sense than
mean,
you.
Right.
There's
Well,
so many
probably-
reasons I can name. You please do a better job. You're representing women that when this is clipped and people are saying this is why women shouldn't be able to vote. Like, there's so many reasons.
Okay, well, you tell me.
We're a part of this society, and we do make up a big population, but we're also part of this society. We work, we contribute, we pay taxes. We're forced to pay taxes. We go through the education system. We make decisions about our children, and we want the best for our kids. That's why we vote. So we,
Should we take it one by one?
yes,
Okay, first one. You work and pay taxes.
correct.
14-year-olds work and pay taxes. Should they vote?
I think the age is 16 to work, but
Should they
people-
vote?
What?
How old do you have to be to vote?
18.
Why can't 16-year-olds vote? They work and pay taxes.
Because they're just working and they don't
That's a straw
understand the
man.
system.
You know it.
How's it a straw man?
Because you know that the voting age is 18. So
It's called logic.
It's a cluster of things. So the fact that it is our human right to be able to vote.
No,
the
it's
fact
not.
that we
According to who?
contribute to
You made a
akin-
claim. You made a claim. You have to substantiate that claim. Where is this human right?
Okay, so I didn't
Tell
say
that to the people of
but I
Tajikistan.
would say that to
Tajikistan.
oh my gosh, the organization, the United Nations says that has declared that it is a woman's human right to vote.
No, they haven't. When did they say that?
The UN's also cucked.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
A kindergarten shouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah,
A
but the thing is-
kindergartner shouldn't be able to vote, but
You have to take
they're a
it-
part of
take
the
yourself-
education system,
Sure.
just like a 16-year-old works.
Oh wow,
and
you
pays
sound so
taxes,
much
sure.
smarter than I did.
No,
I'm making actual points, so I disagree
Operation
with
Meow.
that. Is that a weak No.
so, yeah,
Can I
kindergarten.
interject
Please,
just for a
go for
second?
it.
So I feel like a majority of the women here are more conservative leaning. If you look at how women vote, they lean more left, more liberal. They make bad decisions in voting. I think that if you want to be able to vote, you have to be up for the draft.
I think that's true.
Women should be able to give away
So
that
you,
right.
you think that women shouldn't vote, is what you're saying?
No, I said that women could be drafted. That's what I'm saying.
But do you think that it's desirable to have women fighting in the military?
What
Would
is-
you?
what
Would
is-
you
serve
want to? Would
another
you be?
way.
Why
what is
not
it?
ask the
Desire
person
another
who
way.
was in the
You can
military?
cook.
Sure. Let's go
And
there.
What does that? What
there,
do you mean
Paula.
desirable?
So would you rather be next to standing side by sides on the front line with a woman or a man?
I mean, it depends. I don't want some scrawny idiot on.
A man.
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
A man.
yeah.
The answer is a
if you
man.
wanted to go into battle, you'd want to be with a man, right?
Okay, I just rethought it.
And also, women.
I just rethought my point. Men are genetically stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Men can build muscle quicker. Men have better endurance. But that doesn't have to do with voting, in my opinion, whatsoever. We all have brains.
Well, the
Just
thing,
'cause
I'll tell you why it has to do with voting.
Okay.
Because if you are a woman who is able to vote, then voting gets people into power who can send people off to war, who can send countries off to war. Whenever America goes into war, actually, Australia follows them, by the way. But yeah, so if you can send people to war, have the power to nullify somebody's vote, who's older than you, and you can have that power, then why should you not have to go to war?
Yeah, but you're making two different
'Cause you're
arguments
born.
here. Like you're saying that if women want to vote, you're saying if this, then that. You're not in any position of power to enforce that. Why are we even having this discussion? You don't. What are you going to do? You can't make somebody who wants to vote decide they're going to enlist for the military.
So you're
unless
saying
they
regular
want to.
people shouldn't talk about politics?
No, but what I'm saying is that it's sort of just being provocative because it's like, do you know what would have to happen for the vote to be of question?
Just remove the 19th Amendment.
And it would be absolute anarchy.
No,
you
they
would
wouldn't.
not. Women would not.
What are you guys gonna
let
do
that
about it?
stand. Listen,
when
women
women are
have
in
guns.
power,
Women have guns.
Society.
Women know how to fight.
just-
I'm not saying we
Hold
would.
on a second. You talk for long periods of time. You need to shorten that a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
So you said that it would be anarchy. You said
Yes,
all
it
the
would.
women would get up and get their guns. How do you think that would go
I'm just
for
saying
them?
it wouldn't go over well.
How do you think that would go for the women trying to overthrow the military?
I don't think that they care. I think that in our country, I don't know about
Why don't you
Australia.
answer the question? How would that go for the women if they decided to be up in arms with all of the anarchy and try and overthrow the government and reinstate the 19th Amendment?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in order for the 19th Amendment to have to be taken away, retracted,
Yeah, they pass a bill.
it would have to be a major upset in our political system for there to be a constitutional
know
amendment.
And then
quite
what's going
a
to happen?
few
Women,
women who would
and then
support it.
what are they going to do? Are they going to vote them out?
Could I add something?
You're asking, you're
If
bringing
the women
up
are so
an
pissed off
impossible
about
scenario.
losing the vote, what are they going to do? Vote them out?
Okay, listen. Tell me under what circumstances would it be possible for women to lose the vote? I really want you to just lay it out for me. What's the scenario?
Sure, there'd be a Republican
No, that's not what I said. Like, what would happen?
I'm
What would have
literally
to lead up
saying
to it?
you right now. So a Republican president would be elected. He would propose a bill that would go through the Senate and the House that would be to
You gotta
remove
be
the
kidding
19th Amendment. It would go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court would be based Republicans, and they would say yes.
That's
get
so
rid of that
funny.
19th Amendment, and then the women wouldn't be able to vote anymore, and then the Republicans would get elected more.
And we would all just live together happily, and we would all buy each other Coke and sing happily hand in hand. No, that's not. Never
What
gonna
else
happen
would
because-
we do
but
at
listen,
that
because-
point?
Wait, hold on.
I'm not
hold on,
going to
you
be
guys.
an anarchist with that, but
You know,
I mean,
Hold on a second, one at a time, You guys
Anyway.
can all
Yeah.
all throw your opinions at me. Go.
You know what I'm saying is this. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just
No,
you know,
attack
being
me if you want. I'm happy
I'm
for you
being
to.
very animated.
It's a
but
conversation.
What I'm saying is that for what you are suggesting, it would have to be all men Senate, all men Congress.
Yep.
Or the strongest
That
ones.
is not. When has that happened?
Why should women be in politics?
Okay, you know, you're not. This is not.
You
a good
can be
faith
angry about it,
argument.
or you can make a logical argument. Why should
No,
women
you're
be in
not.
politics?
But your argument is in good faith because you are not giving me
I
the
can give you- I
setup.
can I
of how
add and
it would
backtrack
work
for a
and
second?
realistic.
Yeah, add something.
I'm going to add and backtrack for a second. Men, we're both, women and men are born differently.
Certainly.
Every human being is born with a brain.
Certainly.
And everyone is able to think. Men are gifted in the sense that they are stronger, they run faster. That's why we have men and women sports, which I fully agree with. Men, women,
Less
women.
neurotic, less agreeable.
That's what in women you can't have a kid. Everyone's born with different things, but for the entire population, we all have brains to think. We all have arms and legs, the majority, obviously, to work, to do all that. Therefore, women should be able to. I can't tell if you're playing devil's advocate or you really believe it, but you know, you're from Australia, so I'm happy that you can't vote here for that. I will say I'm happy for that.
That's fair
but
enough.
men getting drafted, they were born differently. We're born differently, but we all have a
And so-
common thing, which is a brain, and we could think.
I
And like
got
she
the
said
point.
that-
I got the point. I'm ready to answer it.
Great.
Okay. So men being drafted
Sure.
because they're physically superior to women, right? And then you said that we can't have children.
Physically superior is not what I said. You have different stuff. You
I-
can't have a kid. That
what-
someone can argue the opposite.
Okay,
way.
so would you, like we made the argument before about the men going into the military, you'd rather have a man next to you because he's physically superior. Most men, the vast majority of men, would beat up most women. We can agree to that, right?
100%.
Okay, cool. So
Up PR Aquatic donated $200. Lady in the green, where do you think your rights come from?
Being born in America.
Okay, yeah, being born in U.S. soil and having the rights and privileges of an American citizen. That's where I got my rights. Also, my father was fought in World War II, and my grandfather fought in World War I. We are Americans. We love this country.
okay, yeah, your father and your grandfather served the country. Good for
Yes,
them.
they
They deserve
did.
to vote.
Yes, and you know what? Even their daughters and their granddaughters also deserve to vote. People, where I come from, the right to vote is very important to us. So I don't play with that
Okay, well, why is it important to you?
because we weren't always able to vote in this country,
Yeah, okay.
and it is very important to us.
Okay, but like doesn't answer why you should. I would love to eat ice
Listen,
cream. Ice cream is important to me.
Because
but
my
do I have a right to
forefathers
that?
fought and died. There were people who were hosed in the streets so that I could have the right to vote. So I'm going to be an educated voter. I'm going to vote. I am going to advocate for my children to vote. I am going to make sure that I pick the best person for the job. I am not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. I am a registered independent.
Okay.
I choose my politicians like I choose my men. Let the best man win.
Would you choose Kamala?
I live in California, so I don't.
Like you said,
I don't
you said
get a
let
chance to-
choose the best man to win.
Yeah. Well, usually is a man. This is something that
Got
we can
him.
say is a new. But yeah. But
Can I
mean,
ask you why men should be able to vote, just so I can hear an
Well, because-
example of why
Sure.
what you're.
Well, because men bear most of the burden of responsibility in society. Men have to go to war. Men have to go and fight wars. Men build all of the infrastructure around you.
So you think it's all based on who gets drafted? What
Well, that's
about-
one component, but also
The
building.
draft is
Do you
not
think
even
that
around.
women who go to
It's a very-
war
it's a
should
very- it's a
be an
very key-
exception
Yeah, do you
to
think-
voting?
Yes, probably.
Draft
yeah.
isn't even a
If you
thing.
serve your country, I'd say that could
enough.
probably be an exception.
Okay.
But I'd say it's a key component, though, being drafted.
Do you
It's not a
think
small
women
deal.
play a vital role in our society, though?
Yes, but this is where it gets interesting, because I don't look at the right to vote as like a either I'm like human or I'm not human. I don't look at that as in any way your intrinsic value is your right to vote. I think that people have value, but in different ways. I think that it's men's job to be in politics. It's men's job to run society. We're less neurotic. We're less agreeable. We're better leaders. We're more physically capable, and that we are the ones who play these dirty games.
Lol Paladin's friend donated $200. This blonde escort, now sweating, staring out into the void, realizing her past sins are finally catching up with her. Do you honestly think she's still in the running for that high-value man now?
Do you want to respond to that?
Who is he asking? Do
You're the blonde
I
escort.
thought we agreed we were done.
you think she's
Well,
still in the running?
paid
Obviously, nobody
$200
in this
yeah.
panel
Sorry.
thinks I'm in the running for a high value man, but I do have high value men in my life, and I don't agree. So, teach their own.
Cool.
Would you say that your dad's a high value man
Yeah,
and he supports your sex work?
he does.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, where were we? So men build all of the infrastructure around us. Men are
I'm not
better
the one
leaders.
with
I think that
parents who
men
support sex work, but that's okay.
men belong in politics, and I think that actually we do women a massive disservice because women's role generally in society, if we're looking at